I've got a question for you. Ugh, I gotta get centered. Okay, I've got a question for you. Why does black culture thrive on the destruction of black people? Like in popular black culture, why do we thrive on destroying our own people? Look at the blogs that make a lot of money, are a primary source of news for a lot of people in our community. Why? Because they report on the stuff that a lot of us care about. But think about what they typically do. It's rarely positive. It's rarely telling a real story. It's rarely actually like beneficial and fruitful information, you know. Yeah, you learn about who cheated on who and Blueface and what's her name having beef, but what do you actually get from that? And then you look at hip hop culture, hip hop music. Why is most of the music that we listen to, most of the music that is propped up, music that is detrimental to black culture? For every Kendrick Lamar, for every J. Cole, for every Wale, for every Big Sean, it's like 20, 35, 42 Dougs, Young Thugs, Gucci Mans, Chief Keefs, Lil Durks, right? Why is it that we are in love with the destruction of our own people? So often you hear people talk about self-loathing this, self-loathing that because of this and that and this, that, and the third. And I sit there and I go, well, do you love yourself? Like, do you actually love yourself? Because I think that if you actually loved yourself, you take a look at what you're consuming and what you're caught up in, and you go, maybe I should take a step back from this. Maybe I should not hang my hat on this. Maybe I should denounce this. You can have your thoughts, you can have your opinions, you can have your feelings on someone like Charleston White. You can disagree with how he goes about it. You can call him a hypocrite, and maybe you're right. But the message that he's pushing, that we have to stop supporting this anti-black culture, black culture. If you can't accept that, your whole perspective is whack, right? Like if you don't understand the idea that we are training ourselves to believe that, hey man, you can't work with law enforcement. Excuse me? You know, we talk about the issues with law enforcement in our community. And I promise you, one of the ways that you can improve your standing with law enforcement and improve how law enforcement treats people in our communities is one, people from our communities join law enforcement, but two, also in interacting and engaging with law enforcement. Because it's easy to mistreat random man over there, but it's much more difficult to treat somebody wrong when you know them, you've had conversations with them, you spent time with them, you know, and you're actually helping them do their job and they're helping you stay safe. Now that's a two-way street because there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of there's a lot of training, there's a lot of reform that's needed on the criminal justice side of the house. Like there's some work that needs to be done, but as black people, we've got to stop giving platforms. We've got to stop giving a microphone, a megaphone, putting a spotlight on these various platforms, pages, artists, songs that don't mean us any good. We've got to empower ourselves. We've got to be able to sift through entertainment, that's entertainment, but then also elevate our level of of entertainment. Find a podcast that is full of information and not full of tea, right? If you want some tea, don't go to Instagram for the tea. Go to the little Starbucks and get you a tea, or go to your kitchen and make you some tea, or go to McDonald's and get you a large sweet tea for $1 if they still do that, you know? But don't go to the shade room for the tea. Don't go to neighborhood talk. Don't go to spiritual word or whatever other blog that you go get that information from. Hollywood Unlocked, all of that filthy, disgusting trash. Because those blogs are filling your head with so much nonsense. They're filling your heads with information that you don't need. They're filling your heads with like this false sense of what's going on outside in a world that you're never going to enter in. Think about the idea of a blog called Hollywood Unlocked. It's like, oh, we're going to open the door to Hollywood and show everybody what's really happening. Well, the people who run it are in Hollywood, and in order for them to get information, they have to, you know, work out those relationships in Hollywood. Well, if that's what they're doing, then how are they supporting? How are they actually unlocking what's happening there? No, false promo. You know, why are people defending YSL and YFN and name that rapper, name that rapper who may be guilty of crimes, who may who, even if they're not guilty of crimes, they're perpetuating images in our community that our young people are flocking to, and they want to portray these people and live like them to the detriment of themselves and their own community. That's happening, you know. Why is that what we praise? Why are we gonna die on the hill of, nah, bro, it's messed up what they doing to Thug, man? Why they using the lyrics against him, bro? Them just lyrics. That's freedom of speech. Yeah, but it's a taped confession. It's a melodic confession. You know, if I decided to just, go on a rant and talk about all the street stuff I'm doing, and they conduct an investigation, they're going to be upset with me. Let me tell you, they're going to be upset with me. You know why? Because they wasted time, effort, and money to look into some stuff that doesn't exist. Because if I was a street rapper, if I was a trap rapper, right, I'd be capping in my rap. I'd be a liar. And what I said couldn't be used against me in court because I didn't do it. Even the idea of, nah, I want my rappers to be truthful in what they're saying. Like, I want them to live or have lived what they're saying. Yeah, I mean, sure, if you want, that's the authenticity that you need. But does it really change it if they're good at making the music? No, because someone like me isn't going to take the time to get to know these people. So who cares, right? So as I just sit back, I don't see blogs that perpetuate negative stereotypes of other cultures. I don't even see music that takes on a mainstream that's in the mainstream that negatively impacts the communities of the others, right? I don't see a culture that's then described in music that everyone has to subscribe to in other cultures. I only see in hip hop culture and black culture that we have to embody this street culture, this criminal culture that is only a subculture of black culture. Only in hip hop do I see that. Only in the black community do I see that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I only see it in my community because it's my community and I'm more invested in it than other communities. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe as hip hop has become more mainstream, I'm seeing this flow into mainstream society, and we have people really feeling like and thinking that they have to live this way that is criminal. Like, you have to partake in criminal activities. You have to look out for and defend and protect criminals. Not criminals who maybe do their crime elsewhere and they take care of the home, right? And the people who are in their community. No. They ravage their own communities. It's like, what are you doing for me? At least Frank Lucas passed out turkeys in the hood. You know? They say those in Cartagena, they loved Escobar because he took care of the neighborhood. But we're talking about rich thugs who are tearing up the neighborhood, ain't giving back, and then we're supposed to protect them. Nah, man. Y'all are supposed to protect us. But what do I know? I'm just a big baby, and I'm back. And I'm back. I am not a cat, but you will respect my authority.